Now, Francesco Guerrera, Bureau Chief of Money and Investing. Do they call you a Bureau Chief? Department
in
Chief?
the
What are you?
What
are you?
Something or
You're a big cheese.
Right.
The big formaggio.
Formaggio, yeah.
Yeah. So, Greece. Okay. Now, last time you came on my show, last time you deigned to be on my show, it seems like a very long time, Francesco.
Always a pleasure.
You were coming around to a little bit of optimism on Europe holding it together.
Right.
How are you feeling today? How are you feeling today?
That's a leading question.
Yeah,
so
of course
they made progress. So I was right all along, as always. But the markets are not buying it today. You can see that the markets are very unnerved at the prospect that this thing is going to drag on and on. So it's something interesting is happening in the market psychology. For the past, I guess, since the beginning of the year, the US markets haven't really paid any attention to Europe, or they've been able to block out all the bad news or the non-news coming out of Europe up until today, really, when you can see that the markets are down triple digit because people are not convinced.
Right, but they're not down that much now, are they? You know, once upon a time, there was a day, a Greek default, we'd see the market would be down 2-3%, you know, in a matter of seconds. People are kind of bored with that. In fact, they're even bored with these riots in Athens. Well, we got more riot footage.
Yeah,
you know, we're putting on our obligatory riot footage here to show that the Greek people are really unhappy that they actually might have to pay. They have to pay back a small portion of the debts that they've incurred.
Yeah, right. But of course, it's a question of national pride as well, and you know, the humiliation of Greece that has been going on for so long is bound to have an effect in the political realm.
But don't you have to earn national pride? I mean, do the Greeks have really much to be proud about in terms of their ability to stick to promises made to other European nations?
No, of course not. From a purely cold-hearted, you know, financial economic point of view, no. But I can understand why.
Have they stuck to any of the terms and conditions that have been put down over the last 2 years?
And that's why they are going through a very difficult period of austerity, and they've been bashed around by European powers. But I think for the population there, it's obvious that doesn't play well, right? And so that's a problem. As for the markets, going back to the markets, I think we are in this kind of limbo, and it's kind of uncertainty, and the markets, as always, are very fragile at the moment.
Right. Now, let's talk about outcomes, likely outcomes. The Greek parliament is or the cabinet is getting together this week, and I think even the parliament will. And I guess there are three possible outcomes, right? One is that they actually agree to the terms and conditions laid down by the Troika. By the way, this isn't just, you know, they like to make it as just Germany. This is the IMF. This is not.
Sure.
This is, I think if you talk to most European leaders, they would go, the Greeks are letting us down. And it's not just the German.
The people are paying, right? So the three guys.
So the first option is they agree to the terms and conditions. The second option is they basically do a default. They don't.
Yeah.
And the rest of Europe throws up their hands and say, we're done with you. And the final is they kind of get most of the way there, but not totally the way there, and then the thing drags out for another week. What would you say is the most likely outcome?
That's easy. It's going to be number 3.
Oh, obviously, is that right?
Obviously. So, and the question then is how the markets react to that, right? Because remember, there's another issue which is in the background, which is what about the talks between the Greek government and the private sector creditors, so we're talking about the banks, on this famous haircut that they've got to take in order for the restructuring to go through. That's still up in the air, and we don't know how much it's going to be, and I don't know if the banks are going to accept it, and we don't know if the CDS are going to get triggered.
The Greeks, relative to the monies that were talked about 6 or 9 months ago, it's turned out by pushing things out, by constantly stalling, they keep on getting a better and better deal, aren't they? Right? It's down to 30 cents on the dollar, 30-year bonds with 3.5% coupon.
Yeah,
I mean, it's if you're a creditor, you can't be that happy.
You can't be that happy. The Greeks are milking this burning platform thing. You know, they've got everybody backed up against the wall. You can't really play that game for that long because it's kind of binary.
Apparently you're at the end of the game here. Okay, I need your best guess. I understand this is totally subjective.
Right.
I want to hear, as the head of money and investing here at the Wall Street Journal, and really a very savvy observer of European affairs, 2 weeks from now we sit down and what has happened?
That Greek would have defaulted one way or the other, right? Greece will default one way or the other. Maybe technically, maybe not. I think the private sector creditors will have to take a haircut of about 70%, and most likely the CDSs will get triggered.
So you're kind of in the things aren't going to turn out so good.
Not so good, but I think the markets will take it because it's effectively priced in. I think it's effectively priced in.
Thank you very much.